Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. This is HQ, of course. I am here to talk about the Jimmy Kimmel, Disney, and freedom of speech, right? You know, freedom of speech is one of the cornerstones of our democracy. It means that everyday Americans, comedians, journalists, and pastors, even our neighbors, have the right to speak their mind without fear of the government. When the government starts deciding who can joke, who can criticize, who can speak, who can question those in power, then free speech is no longer free, okay? It becomes permission-based, and permission from government is not freedom. The recent suspension of Jimmy Kimmel by the FCC over a small joke about the president is not just about one comedian or one TV show. I wish you MAGA people would get that through your head. It's about more than that. This is about a dangerous precedent. If you can silence a late night host because of the president, because he doesn't like a joke, then what's to stop them from silencing you or me for a Facebook post, a podcast, a TikTok, or even a conversation at my workplace? Comedy has always been a safe space for criticism, okay? And if comedy is no longer safe, then no speech is safe. And let's not forget Stephen Colbert. He was outright canceled for a joke. These hosts have made careers out of poking fun at presidents and politicians of every party. That's part of the American tradition, and you guys know it. If the current administration only wants soft, flattering words and is willing to punish those who step out of line, then they are trying to control the narrative, telling us what we're supposed to think. It's the lefties. It's the lefties. The lefties are dangerous. The lefties are radicals. The lefties is this, that, and third. Currently, they're trying to push that narrative when all records and all data show that is not the case. Stop believing everything you read. This is very important. Free speech is very important. This is very important. That is the kind of thing that happens in authoritarian countries, not in the United States. It's not supposed to be here. Now, some of you might say, who gives a damn about Jimmy Kimmel or Colbert anyway? But that misses the biggest picture. When you allow the government to silence one person, you set the stage for them to silence everybody. And I get it. Right now, the left is talking and you don't like it. The right is talking and you don't like it. But we have the right to say what we want to say. You want to silence people on TikTok, silence people on YouTube. You want to silence all the dissent. That's not what our First Amendment is all about. Today it's the late night comedians. Tomorrow it could be your pastor, your local journalist, or even your own social media account. Stop this right now in its tracks. This is a slippery slope that ends with a government deciding what it is and isn't acceptable when it comes to speech. I heard the other day that they're trying to make transgender people, when they speak about certain things, a terrorist group. What in the hell is going on? Because somebody speaks something that you don't like, you want to turn it into a terrorist group? No, bruh. Something's wrong with that. And this is where the business angle comes in with ABC and Kimmel. Disney, ABC, and Hulu didn't suspend Kimmel because they were worried about those goddamn ratings. They are lying. They did it because they wanted something from Washington. Disney has its hands in everything. Movies, TVs, streaming, even sports on ESPN, right? And right now, they want a big merger deal between Nexstar Media Group and Tegna to sail through. That's $62 billion deal that's required to be approved by FCC. So instead of standing up for free speech, they bowed down to political pressure. They figured silencing a late night host was a small price to pay to keep Washington happy. But the public isn't buying. We ain't going for it. We not going for this freedom of speech squelching. We not going for that. We smell a rat a mile away. And the backlash is going to be swift and very harsh. Americans, I understand it, are canceling their subscription to Hulu, ESPN, and even Disney and Disney cruises and Disney theme park visits. Families are dropping their Disney cable bundles and even refusing to renew their ABC streaming packages. It's not just about Kimmel, dudes. The right and left. I'm talking to all the right and left people. Free speech is not just about Kimmel. It's about ordinary people standing up and saying, if you cancel free speech, we will cancel you. And when you consider how wide Disney's reach is, theme parks, merchandise, streaming, TV, sports, the hit to Disney could be catastrophic. We've seen this playbook before. Remember what happened to Target when they shifted away from DEI practices and faced a massive public backlash? Billions of dollars. Sick. Target's sick. Shoppers abandoned them in droves, and Target's brand took a damn hit they'll never maybe recover from. You never know. Disney and ABC are now walking that damn plank, that same road, that same shitstorm. But this time it's over something even bigger than hiring policies. It's over free speech, okay? The very bedrock of this country, of our democracy. And when Americans feel their voices under attack, we turn the fuck up. We don't get upset. We turn the fuck up with our wallets. This isn't happening in a vacuum, okay? We saw this pattern begin with the attacks on Charlie Kirk. Whether you agree with Kirk's view or not, it became acceptable in some circles to celebrate his death or silence his speech. That attitude that some people's voices don't deserve protection and others do, opened the door for the government and corporations to decide who gets to speak and who don't. Once you start picking and choosing whose speech is valid, the principle of free speech is done, is destroyed. The administration is also trying to frame certain groups as dangerous, like I said, Antifa, transgender, simply because they disagree with them politically or morally. They've labeled the left as dangerous, and that's dangerous. And while there may be people on the fringes of any group who go too far, painting them as dangerous is just dangerous. They cannot be considered enemies of the state because they speak out. Again, it doesn't matter whether you personally agree with those groups. What matters is whether the group has the power to silence them. This is dangerous to democracy, because democracy only works when ideas are allowed to compete freely. Good ideas rise, bad ideas fall, but that only happens when everyone can speak. If the government picks winners and losers in speech, then people no longer have a true say. It becomes a state-controlled thought, and that is the opposition to democracy. We must remember that free speech is not about protecting speech we like. It's about protecting speech we don't like. It's about protecting the comedian who makes a joke we think is tasteless, the activist who says something we don't agree with, the politician we may even despise or hate, like you guys on the right say you hate the lefties. Because if their speech can be taken away, so can yours. Americans need to stand together and send a clear message. We will not tolerate this censorship. We will not support companies that bow down to government pressure. And we damn sure will not sit quietly by while the administration twists free speech into a tool for control. Disney, ABC, Hulu, and ESPN should take note of that. Our wallets are our vote. And if they continue to cooperate in silencing our voices, they will lose the trust and support of the people. This isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert. It's not even just about late night comedy. This is about the health of our democracy. Once free speech falls, every other freedom is at risk. The Second Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, 16th Amendment. The administration may think this will silence criticism, but they will rue the day they chose to go down the First Amendment path. Because the American people will not sit by quietly as the light of free speech is dimmed. We will push back on that. We will speak louder, and we will defend the freedom that defines who we are.
Someday